Japanese is regarded as one of the hardest languages to learn because of its complicated writing systems. But learning Japanese is not as hard as you think. Here's my background. 僕は日本生まれで、今までの人生のほとんど、中学と大学の時間以外の全てを日本で過ごしてきました。ですので、日本語は僕の第一言語、母国語の一つですね。ちなみに、英語は僕の第三言語で、高校になってから勉強しました。ということで、ちょっと信憑性を高めるために日本語で話しました。ここからは英語で話します。In this video, I'll show you, as a native Japanese speaker, the 5 tips on how you can learn Japanese fast and easily. I truly believe that these tips can be really helpful, especially if you're just getting started. Let's start. Tip number 1. Specify your goal. First of all, why are you learning Japanese? What's your goal? Is it for watching anime in the native language, learning about Japanese culture, communicating with native speakers, visiting Japan, or for business use? Figuring out your goal, your purpose, even before you start studying is very important because it allows you to avoid unnecessary things and focus on what's essential. If you simply want to understand anime or culture better, you probably don't need to study kanji extensively and can instead focus on mastering hiragana and katakana. If you want to communicate with people, you'll need to focus on both input from reading and listening, and output through speaking and writing, and so on. The first thing you want to do is to clarify your goal, so you can create efficient strategy accordingly. Tip number 2. Understand Japanese writing system. If you want to learn Japanese fast, you need to understand how its writing systems work. There are 3 types of characters in Japanese: hiragana, katakana, and kanji, which are often mixed in Japanese text. Hiragana represents Japanese sounds and is used for native words, while katakana is used for foreign words, especially English. Hiragana looks more noodle-like, you know. Kanji is Chinese characters adapted to Japanese, which help communicate more efficiently in Japanese. What does it mean? Think of kanji as internet acronyms people use, like laughing out loud, laughing my ass off, and talk to you later. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, it's much easier to communicate. They are made of radicals like building blocks, giving clues to their meaning. Japanese kids learn about 1,000 kanji by elementary school, covering most daily use characters. So if your goal is not to become a Japanese master or anything like that, as long as you can recognize and understand basic kanji, that allows you to understand probably more than 80% of daily use Japanese, which is pretty impressive. Of course, you still need to study kanji for understanding Japanese in general, but you don't need to focus on it too much. For example, Japanese anime only uses basic kanji, usually with hiragana for easier understanding. For hiragana and katakana, definitely learn all of the characters, writing, and related vocabulary. It might seem confusing at first, but with practice, you'll get used to these weird characters.
Trust me.
Tip number 3. Don't fall into the grammar trap. If you are just starting to learn Japanese, I recommend focusing on mastering hiragana and katakana and basic kanji first. You can use textbook like Genki, which is popular for beginners, or language learning apps like Duolingo to cover the basics. Listen, you can take a look at some basic grammar if you are interested, but don't get caught up in it. Native speakers don't learn their language by studying grammar. Have you learned your language by studying grammar?
Grammar?
Grammar.
I bet you've never learned it. Most likely you have no idea what grammar is.
Right.
Personally, I think studying grammar is a bad idea because it makes the learning process so much boring and painful. I'm a trilingual. I speak Japanese, Chinese, and English, but I personally never benefited from studying grammar at all. So study grammar only if you enjoy it. The thing is, the more you listen and practice, the better you'll understand grammar and sentence structure and stuff without even intentionally studying it. Studying too much grammar can create a mental cage that restricts you from speaking naturally because you'll overthink when you speak it. So avoid studying too much grammar in the beginning.
It's okay to make mistakes.
Tip number 4. Gamify and immerse yourself in the experience. I'm a true believer that if you want to learn any language fast, the best way is to play around and have fun with it. Language is to be used. It doesn't exist for the sake of memorization or knowledge. Don't make your learning experience painful. If that's the case, trust me, it won't last that long. There was a time I tried so hard to study English, memorizing vocabulary, grammar and stuff, which I didn't enjoy even a tiny bit. My English barely improved at all because I was suffering and I turned the learning process into a huge burden to me. On the other hand, I can confidently say that my English level skyrocketed when I started watching YouTube and Netflix in English, where I immersed myself in doing what I truly enjoy. I was having fun with the process itself, so it'll come so natural for me to search up unknown words or slang.
Mom, cringe.
The more fun you have, the faster you learn. I strongly recommend you to watch any types of videos you enjoy. Now you can watch any kind of video with dual subtitles, for example, English and Japanese. You can use Chrome extension called Language Reactor for YouTube and Netflix, and websites like AnimeLong for anime. There are so many useful study features to help you memorize vocabularies and stuff. For example, they do not only teach you how to read, but also offer quick search features, so you can learn the new words in a second while enjoying the show. Even though some features are not free, but it's definitely worth investment if you want to learn fast. In the past, people had no choice but to read textbooks, spend important time to learn Japanese. But technology changed everything, so take advantage of it. Tip number 5. Create a comfortable output environment. It's important for you to create an output environment while you're taking in lots of inputs. Imitate the tone, mouth shape, and pronunciation when you're watching videos. At the same time, I'll suggest you to check out online language learning platforms like italki, where you can communicate with native speakers, and also find a language buddy to pair up with native speakers of your chosen language, where they help you with Japanese while you help them with your native language. That's a win-win. Talk to them. Don't think about grammar. And make as many mistakes as you can. You can communicate daily to practice your Japanese. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. We're often so scared of making mistakes, but it's at that very moment that when you stop worrying about it, you'll see a huge improvement in your language level. No one's gonna make fun of your mistakes. If they judge you, let them be. In Japan, only less than 10% of the population are bilingual. So the fact that you're learning the second language puts you in the top 10% of the Japanese population. Find someone who's willing to correct your mistakes and help you with Japanese learning. I have a friend who has improved his Japanese to almost a native level in a year or so, even though he was pretty much a beginner in the beginning. It was because he didn't hesitate to make any mistakes, and he didn't think it's embarrassing at all, which is very impressive. He'll ask any silly questions to clarify his understanding in any situation. At the same time, I've seen many people who have been learning Japanese for many years, but couldn't really speak at all because they're scared of embarrassment. Believe me, if you want to learn fast, you have to be the former. People who use it the most, people who immerse themselves with the language, are the people who learn the fastest. Alright, this is it for today's video. Let me know in the comment if you want to watch similar videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe if you found it helpful. Bye.